गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। Hari Om, Suprabhatam. We will chant the first verse. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Moodhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrankarani. भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति डुक्कृङ्करणी। हे मूढमते Govindam bhaja. This is the teaching, first and foremost teaching and the main teaching of Bhaja Govindam. Govindam bhaja. Yesterday we saw the details. Govindam refers to the ultimate goal of life. Govindam represents Brahman. Govindam represents Bhagavan, reality, truth. And what is bhaja? Bhaja here refers to concentrate, focus towards that supreme goal which is alone permanent. Nothing else in this world is permanent. Everything are ephemeral. Everything are kshanikam, impermanent. Therefore, Govindam bhaja. 3 times it is said, Govindam bhaja, Govindam bhaja, Govindam bhaja, bhaja Govindam, bhaja Govindam, Govindam bhaja, all the same. Why? The emphasis is that alone is the ultimate. And then he says, Kale sannihite samprapte, when death comes closer, then Dukkan karane nahi rakshati. The grammar will not help you. Therefore, be clear as to what you want. This requires a proper understanding of the words. Normally, we call people as half-baked knowledge. People who have not gained the right knowledge, right import of these sentences. They immediately jump to conclusion, grammar is not required, which is very wrong. Now, we will analyze this very clearly. Acharya Shankara, what he says, what he means with the word Dukkanj karane nahi rakshati means that which is a materialistic knowledge cannot help you in the spiritual accomplishment. Grammar is a materialistic knowledge, aparavidya. Now again, this is where we have to be very careful in understanding. Anything and everything that deals with the world is called aparavidya. Grammar is also aparavidya from the standpoint of knowledge as far as the language is concerned. At the same time, it is very, very important how, let us see. Knowledge are of varied kinds. In fact, in Mundaka Upanishad, aparavidya is referred. Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas, Jyotisha, all these are varied forms of knowledge. It is definitely expressed and they are important to understand the world as it is. The emphasis here is one must gain aparavidya because the knowledge of the materialistic knowledge helps us, supports us, guides us to understand Veda. When it comes to grammar in particular, it is very important for us to understand Veda. But the call here is, don't spend the entire life only in grammar. Even that is not sufficient, no doubt. But our focus is Paravidya. When our focus is Paravidya, use the Aparavidya for the sake of gaining the Paravidya. Don't get stagnated into Aparavidya. This is the call. And Aparavidya is the means, Paravidya is the end. We should not take Aparavidya to be the end. Why did this thought come? Acharya Shankara, when he saw that very elderly person learning grammar rules at that age. Probably Acharya wanted to tell him, forget all this. Take Ramanama Japa. Why? At this age, grammar rules will not be of any use. Grammar by itself is not useless. But at that age, grammar rules are not worthy enough, are not useful enough. To that extent that I no more consider Paravidya as important and stick myself to Aparavidya. Grammar is very, very important because without grammar, now please be very attentive here, grammar is extremely important. Without grammar, there cannot be a language. No language can exist without grammar. And language is extremely important for communication. Even the Aparavidya was communicated to the Shishya by the Guru through what? Through language. Therefore, language is very important for communication. And communication is extremely important for knowledge. Communication is very important for gaining knowledge because the Guru Shishya Parampara existed only with the communication of what? Of the higher truth. In fact, those days there were no books. There were no printed books or written books. It was later Bhagavan Vedavyasji brought it into book form. So, communication were the only means of transformation of this knowledge. So, communication is important. For communication, language is important. For language, grammar is important. So, we should never jump to conclusions and underestimate the importance of a grammar. Grammar is extremely important again because to understand the pregnant meanings, the inner import of the knowledge, grammar is again very important. Therefore, one must not underestimate. Then why is it not accepted here? Why does Acharya say? Acharya says, grammar, language, communication are all means to reach the end, which is Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma. And in this life alone we must get that. So full complete life if I spend only on grammar, then where is the time for me to reach the higher? Thirdly, Bhagavan Nama at the last phase of life is the most important factor. Remember earlier when we had talked about Tattva Bodha, we had made a mention. The first 25 years is spent for gaining the knowledge, all types of knowledge. And then the rest 75 years is for application. When 25 years I give myself completely to gain the knowledge, then the rest of the time I must consciously apply that knowledge so that I am directed towards the purpose of gaining that very knowledge. But at the end, fag end of life, these things will not help. Fag end of life, one must give maximum time for Namasmarana, for analysis of that Shastra which has been given. try to introspect on whatever has happened and whatever experience I have gained and how I can transform myself and make myself ready, available for that supreme experience. Being constantly involved only in the primary part of life till the end of life will not take us anywhere. Therefore, old man learning grammar rules probably triggered Acharya Shankara to write this beautiful text. In fact, old man is only a nimittam. Old man is a nimittam because taking one nimitta karanam, Acharya actually is teaching all of us. Now see, materialistic knowledge, grammar, is required for attaining the supreme. Similarly, materialism will not take us anywhere. Start shifting your attention from materialistic life to religious life and religious life to spiritual life. This is the call. Therefore, aparavidya must be the means, paravidya must be the end. Next very important point. Aparavidya is so much important. How? Paravidya is impossible without aparavidya. It is people who do not understand the importance of aparavidya jump to conclusion for the sake of escaping. People who want to escape studying probably may jump to such conclusion. Oh, Bhaja Govindam, Acharya Shankara has said. But have we ever understood Acharya Shankara? From the age of 8 to the age of 32, the amount of bhashyas he has written in Sanskritam. And if he says, Dukrinch karane nahi rakshati, it will be wrong on our part to misunderstand. Think. It is very important to a certain extent. One must, it is like, when I drive a car, I have put the first gear and I am trying to drive the car all through in first gear only. It is bad for the car, it is bad for me, it is bad for the engine, it is bad for other people who are traveling along with us also. Think. I have to shift the gear again and again and move to the top gear. Once you reach the top gear, the car moves very smoothly. It applies even to two-wheelers. Is it not? But once I put the first gear, at that optimum point, I must shift the gear to this next level. Otherwise, the vehicle will misbehave. Similarly, Dukrinkarane is important to understand the Shastra. Once I am able to understand the words in Shastra, I must not get stuck in the first level. So, Paravidya is impossible without Aparavidya. When it is said, the first gear is very important. Shifting to second gear is very important. Directly if you go to fourth gear, again it is Hanikaram. Think. So, Paravidya impossible without Aparavidya. And Aparavidya is incomplete without Paravidya. Now, please be very clear. Aparavidya is very important because Paravidya is impossible without Aparavidya, and Aparavidya is incomplete without Paravidya. Therefore, where is our goal? Paravidya is our goal, for which Aparavidya is required. To whatever extent it is important for me, to whatever extent I can gain the knowledge, gain, but move on, move forward is the call. Right? Now, the final thought here is, do not dedicate your entire life getting stuck, getting stagnated in the means. Move forward to reach the goal. Therefore, sadhane sadhyatva buddhi moha. Sadhane sadhyatva buddhi moha. Sadhane means what? Means. Sadhyatva buddhi, considering means as the end, is delusion. Therefore, move forward is the call. When I say move forward, don't surpass. Go through it, but move forward. Very important. Now, we'll take the second shloka. Mudhajahihi dhanagama trishna kuru sadbuddhim manasi vitrishna yallabhase nija karmopatam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. Mudhajahihi dhanagama trishna kuru sadbuddhim manasi vitrishna yallabhase nija karmopatam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. Bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate. Another beautiful expression. In fact, another field of delusion which human beings have. Artha Purushartha and Vitta Purushartha are the primary occupation which we are seeing in people. People feel money, wealth is everything. People have the intention of money being the all and end of life. There are two extremes. One category of people is who feel money is everything. For the sake of money, they are ready to do anything, cutter, looter, murderer, plunder. And there is an other sector, it's a very less actually, this is huge, this is very less, who feel money is maya, money is dangerous, wealth will bring so much of problems, therefore I will not touch money. That is another extreme. Those are very less anyway. But what exactly is this vittam? Is beautifully explained here. Acharya says, hey Mudha, again he starts with the word Mudha. So some people might get very, agitated. What does he think of himself? Does he think he alone is intelligent and all of us are Mudha? We are also doctorate in our own field of this work. How can he call us a Mudha? Remember, anything we choose other than Paravidya, we are Mudha. Statement is very clear. As long as the mind wants anything other than Paravidya is equal to labeled. What? Mudhamate. Another way of looking at it. For a mind which has constantly engaged and drowned and indulged in materialism, a tight slap is required to wake up. Think. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, Arjuna's crying yoga, Vishada yoga. He kept on blaming, he kept on crying. Krishna was quiet. And when Krishna started, the first two shlokas was like a tight slide. Klaibyamma smagama partha naitatvayupapadyate ashocyanan vashochastvam prajnavadanscha pashase gatasun agatasuncha nanushocanti panditaha. All these are what? To wake you up. Similarly, Acharya is taking the same style, if we may say so. In case, let us say, Acharya tells, my dear Manava, you will not listen properly. Why? You are so much drowned, you don't even understand where you are. Is it not true? How many of us are totally engaged in the worldly affairs that many times we even don't understand where we are? Think. Classroom. In a classroom, while the teacher is teaching, the students are all in their own world. Then what happens? The shrill bell rings. For what? Where am I? Think. Similarly, Acharya wanted people like us to wake up first and to look around where we are. And for that, one tight slap. Mudhamate. Hey Mudha, now listen to this very carefully, very, very important. Dhana agama trishnam jahihi. He did not say dhana agama jahihi. He says dhana agama trishnam jahihi. What does that mean? Now we will analyze this very important aspect of life. Every single person living in this world must work towards gaining these three. Every single person living in this world will require, must gain, must work towards these three. What are they? Knowledge, power, and wealth. Knowledge, power, and wealth. The whole gamut of our experiences from the womb to the tomb are classified in these three. Knowledge, power, and wealth. We will analyze that. Knowledge is required to do anything and everything. It starts from the cradle. Knowing starts from the cradle. Even to call, recognize and call my own mother, Janani. I must learn to utter the word Amma. And in modern days, the irresponsible, irrational, worthless, useless people teach the children to call Mummy. Mummy means dead body. And in Indian culture, we are never taught that way in the previous generations. It is the useless modern generation, the so-called modern generations, whom I will claim as avivekis, make the children call mummy. Why? I am now modern children, incorporating the Western culture, which is highly unintelligent. Think. Our learning from the cradle starts with calling our mother as Amma. From there, learning starts. Every step, the mother or the father holding the child with both the fingers and make them take steps. Initial little tiny steps. Learning. Going to college, going to school, primary school, and learning E. Very important. Think. And without knowledge, one cannot survive in this world outside. Therefore, one must never underestimate knowledge. Knowledge is extremely important for us to reach or accomplish anything in this world, be it spiritual or secular, be it spiritual or materialistic. Without knowledge, one cannot do anything, one cannot accomplish anything. Therefore, the first and primary requirement for a person to live intelligently in life is to gain vidya, knowledge. Without knowledge, one cannot earn a basic living also. You can't get the basic stuff, roti, kapda or makan. And how much it is prevalent, even small children, they don't respect the people who are sitting as beggars in the road or people who are not educated. Today, even the children don't respect them. Therefore, basic knowledge is important. Think. Vidwan sarvatra pujyate. Only a knowledgeable person is respected everywhere. Therefore, study is very, very, very important. In fact, absolute necessary. Absolutely necessary. Therefore, never underestimate studying. Never underestimate knowing. And gaining knowledge is not so very easy. As I often quote, Vidvaneva vijanati vidvajjana parishramam. Only a person who has educated himself will understand how important and how difficult is education. Therefore, knowledge extremely important to even survive in this world. Second is Shakti, power. First is Jnanam, second one is Shakti. Shakti is what? Power. What do we mean by power? Power is that energy with which anything is made possible. Like for example, even the smallest activity for me to take a glass of water and drink, I require Shakti in my hands to lift the tumbler of water and drink. To that smallest thing also, we require power in our hands. I require power in my body even to put few steps. Think. They say one very oft quoted statement. You can take the horse to the river, but what drinking horse has to do. Somebody can even feed the food in my mouth, but I have to chew and eat. that much also Shakti is important. Now when you start expanding that, you will find energy is extremely important for our complete life. Paranpaja Gurudev would say, there are people who have no energy to live and no energy to even die. See, what is this energy? Energy is that which makes anything possible. And without energy, nothing is possible. This is at very, very common level. One step ahead. Even to gain the knowledge of anything, I require physical and emotional energy. That strength is required. Without physical strength, we cannot do anything. Without emotional strength, we cannot achieve anything. Therefore, energy, power is extremely important. Meaning what? I must work towards staying healthy. Very simple factor. It does not mean that I go to a gym every day and develop some biceps and so many words they use. Six pack for men they use. Lot of muscles everywhere. Wherever you see, muscles only. The face is so small. Though you can see all these bodybuilders and all. It's a passion. And for some it is a profession also. That's a different thing. But that is not the energy that is talked about here. Here the energy talked about are three types of energy. Physical energy, to keep myself going in my own field without getting stuck with diseases. That much of physical energy is required. Emotional energy is required for the mind not to get pulled down by certain slips in life. There are so many times where we will fall. At that time, I must have the passion to wake up, get up and move forward because I have to reach my destination. Therefore, emotional energy is required in any field of activity. And third, intellectual energy in gaining the knowledge and applying that knowledge in that field of activity is extremely important. Think. Therefore, never underestimate, it is okay. People should be knowledgeable. Physical and all one need not. No. Don't misunderstand. Physical health, emotional stability, intellectual capacity. All these three are extremely important, represented by strength, Shakti. And third is wealth. Wealth requires a little more understanding because we highly misunderstand this wealth. What is wealth? Wealth is not movable and immovable properties and bank balance alone. Think. Even when you take money as an important factor, money is very important. Money should not be misunderstood. Money is extremely important for survival today. Right? Therefore, do not underestimate money. And of course, we always overestimate, that's a different issue. But money is very, very important. Wealth is required. What? Leave alone samsaris. Sannyasis also require money. Think of the major institutions. Ramakrishna Mission, Chinmaya Mission, Mata Amritanandamayi Mission, Paramahamsa Yogananda Ashrama, or any ashrama you take, an establishment requires money for basic running. Your own home. Think. Your own home requires money for the basics, food, clothing, shelter. You cannot say, no, I don't require all that. No. Then, if you are a parivrajaka, you have nothing, you have nobody, you don't require anything, you keep on going. Even then money is required. Not that all the time you will get food from people. Only when you go out you will understand. And in today's world, there are people who see this dress and misunderstand and say, Goga, useless people, like that they will shout. And there are people who look at sannyasis and say, worthless people, they are all cancer in the society, they are all lazy people, they want quick money without working. Like that people talk of sannyasis also. So there is no guarantee that you will get your food because you wear a cloth. People, oh sannyasi, please come take. No, don't misunderstand please. We have gone through such experiences. Therefore, basic requirement, money is important. Think. Even the smallest of the institutions, Sadhana Mandira, we are running this institution for what? To disseminate the knowledge of the Shastras to the masses. What is the purpose of the ashram? To give knowledge to others. But we are staying in a rented house. Rent I have to pay. My owner is not a sannyasi. Think. The people who work here, they are not sannyasis. We have to pay salary. So even a sannyasi at a level, at a particular time will require money. Therefore, never underestimate the importance of money. Wealth is required. But wealth has its own limitation. Everything is needed, but how much is something which we have to clearly understand. This much and no further. There are two things. One, need, and another one, want. Need is different from want. In fact, the needs Bhagavan has given plenty. More than requirement, everybody has got the need. दाने दाने पे लिखा है खाने वाले का नाम. Even a parivrajaka sannyasi, wherever he is destined to get food, yena kena prakarena, he will get food. Bhagavan will take care. Tum rachak काम को डरना. Bhagavan will protect us for gaining the basic needs. Never doubt Bhagavan. Param Pujya Gurudev used to say, you may never get what you desire, but you can never escape from what you deserve. Therefore, when I deserve something, by hook or crook, Bhagavan will push it to you. There is one beautiful statement. Bhagavan deta hai to chappad pad ke deta hai. So if Bhagavan has decided to give me something, he will give me some way or the other. I don't have to worry about it. But if I direct all my energies to acquire, to possess, to aggrandize, there the problem comes. As oft quoted, very often I keep telling the same thing, but it has its importance. As Mahatma Gandhiji would say, what is that? There is enough for every man's need, but not enough for one man's greed. Problem is not with the need, problem with us is for want. Man becomes greedy in acquiring so much more than what is required. Acquiring more than requirement is greed. And here, when wealth is looked at as a hindrance, it is only a hindrance to the higher when it transforms to become greed. Therefore, knowledge is a must. Shakti is a must. Wealth, very, very important. But all of them are not all and end. Tomorrow, we will see how all of them have got a boundary and they are not enough to gain the Paravidya. In fact, Paravidya is one step ahead of all these three. We will see tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.